Everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of our Gibraltar Challenge. Now, if you've not seen the last few episodes, where have you been? This entire playthrough's just got absolutely crazy all of a sudden. We hadn't got past the second qualifying stage at all in our 9 or so years in the Champions League. We finally got through it, and then we got through the third qualifying stage, and then we won the playoffs. We got into the group stage, we got a 1-1 draw at home to Marseille, and then we scored a 91st minute goal to equal the game at the Nou Camp, Barcelona, to get another draw. So far, we've not lost a game all season, and we played against Salzburg, Dunfermline, Malmo, Marseille, and Barcelona. Wow, it's been incredible. And now, today, we have the third member of our Champions League qualifying group. That is going to be Chelsea, and that's going to be interesting away at Stamford Bridge. At the moment, we are still joint top of the group on 2 points. Everyone's on 2 points at the moment, don't get me wrong, but still, I mean, we're actually in one of the positions to go through. I don't know how that works. I think it's because the Marseille and Chelsea game was a 0-0 draw, and Barcelona Europa Point was a 2-2. So we're actually in that position by goals scored, and if we could get through, I'm not going to say it because it's not going to happen. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but still, come on, we're doing fantastic as it is. 2 points is 2 points more than I thought we would get. So I'm ecstatic about how this is going so far, and we're going to continue on here today. Of course, we do have a game against Britannia first, the only team in the league last year to pull off a victory against us. Well, the only team to stop us winning a game altogether, really. So really want to just bury these guys as much as we possibly can today. And then, of course, we'll be travelling across the Stamford Bridge to take on the mighty Chelsea. So without further ado, let's get straight into that match against Britannia. And here we are. So we are heavy favourites for this one again, but just to stress, of course, we do have a game against Chelsea, in a few days' time. So we have made quite a few changes, and we are going to see some debuts here as well. So let's have a quick look and see our team. Might be some names that you don't recognise, but we're going to go through them now. Just having a quick look at the Britannia team. They have got Aidan Ives up front, one of our former players, our former youngster. I think he actually came through our... Did he come through our academy, or was he the one we signed who was from America? I seem to think we signed him in from America. He got generated into the game without a club and we signed him up, but he played a few games for us. He wasn't ever fantastic. As you see, he only pulled off about 15 games for us, and then we let him go to Britannia, which is the best thing really for Gibraltar as a whole, because he's going to get some football now. So in goal, we have Mashego. Now Mashego is very interesting at the moment. As you can see, he's a fantastic player, but take a look at this, wanted. Yeah, just let that sink in. Look at that list of clubs that are interested in this young guy. Luckily, he's contracted with us for another 3 years. I've slapped a £5 million price tag on him because when you see the names like PSG and Real Madrid and all these teams really, you know there's some money around. So we want to try and make sure that if we do have to sell him, which I think we will do, it's only fair for him if we do let him go if one of these big clubs come in, but we're going to make some money out of it either way. Into left back we have Chris Roberts, a player we brought in the summer. Supposed to be a bit competition for Jared Murphy at left back. He's not quite on the same level as Murphy, but I still think he's a decent player. He's got some good stats, and he could come in very handy for us this year. Into the centre-back positions, we have Lima, another player we brought in the summer, a young Brazilian player. We actually paid for this guy as well. We paid £65,000 for him. The scouts said he was very, very good, so hopefully he's going to develop into a bit of a better player, because at the moment his stats aren't fantastic, but still, it's going to be a good player. Alongside him, we have Juan Carlos Dulce, a player we've had now for a few years. How long have we had him for? Yeah, this is his third season with us now, so another 3 seasons and he can play for the national side, which I think he probably would. Being Argentinian, he's never going to get in the Argentinian national side. Into right back, we have Mauricio Susican, a young Colombian player we brought a couple of years ago. Struggling now because we've got quite a few good right backs, but still want to try and give him as much football as we can. He can play right midfield as well if we need to. Into the middle, we have Emery Admasu, a player we've got in the summer again, a free transfer from Monaco, so a good player. Alongside him, we have Eric Bernal, our American midfielder. His stats have been going down for a while now. Been trying to play him as many times as we possibly can, just see if we can turn that around. Attacking left midfield, we have Christian Atangana, something like that, yeah. We brought him in the summer as well. He looks like a good player. Someone else to give Finn Baird a bit of a competition on that left-hand side. And again, another Cameroonian. We've got quite a few Cameroonian players now. Onto the right-hand side, we have Kwesi Oladiji, Ghanaian midfielder. We brought him in from QPR. He's been knocking around now. This is his second season with us. He only played 14 games last year, but Hoping to get a bit more out of him this season. Up front we have Maximiliano Bustamante. Great young player. We've had him now for a couple of years as well, and not really as much football as he would have hoped, I don't think. This is his third season with us now. Somebody who I really want to keep a hold of, because being Argentinian once again, I think he could be someone that may go for Gibraltarian nationality, and if he did, that'd be a massive, massive signing for Gibraltar. Well, not a signing as such, but you know what I mean. And alongside him we have Elliot Watson, a young striker we brought in the summer once again. A Chelsea reject, and this is going to be his debut, but he looks pretty promising if you look at his stats, and they're going up as well, which is always good. Looks like another big guy, a bit like Vega, with a good heading ability and things like that, so I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. I'll tell you what, I was flicking through one of the old episodes today on YouTube, and I realised I didn't quite notice, but when you flick back, and this could be fun to do actually, if you flick back and just look at the team that we set out, and look at some of the players that the same as what we're using now, and you can actually see a big jump in stats in a few of them, and that's quite fun to see actually. Defence, bench-wise, that's what I'm looking for. Nobody different, a lot of stronger players just in case we do need to bring anyone on to turn this game around, but I'm very confident with the team we're putting out there. You see they're not played a lot of games between us. But they're all match fit. They've been playing for the reserves just to get their match fitness up, so we should do pretty well here. No reason why not. Debuts for Roberts and Watson should be good enough. So I've just realised my dinner's boiling over. Should be alright. And here we go then. Right, one second, I have to turn my dinner down. It's going everywhere. Crisis avoided. Right, how are we doing? Right, we're still going there, are we? No goals as of yet, so I've not missed anything. 12 minutes in, we do have a highlight now. And it's Bernal cutting out the goal kick to Admasu. Well, I like Admasu. He's not quite got the stats I was hoping for when we signed him, because of course the player mask can hid quite a few of the stats, but the scout said he was very good, and he's a former Monaco player, so I thought myself, Monaco are not going to spawn any bad players, surely. So hopefully, give it a couple of seasons or so, he's going to develop into a really top-class player. I'm just excited for the game after this against Chelsea, I really am. Oladipo into Bustamante, sees Elliot Watson on his debut. He may have great heading skills, but his finishing aren't too good, is it really? Come on, guys. Let's get the momentum rolling for that Chelsea game. We've got draws against Marseille and draws against Barcelona at the Nou Camp so far. Let's see what we can do against Chelsea. I'm still going to go into it thinking we're going to get hammered still, and we'll play a very defensive style again. We'll play counter-attacking football, and who knows, if we've done so well in the last couple of games, maybe we can do the same here. Good defence again there by Susican, cutting it out, plays it into Eric Bernal. Bernal and Admasu getting a lot of the ball in the middle of the pitch at the moment, but still not able to break through. Watson plays it across to Bustamante. It's tackled by Oliveira. And Bustamante's not having the best of games so far up there, as the young Brazilian Lima gets a hold of the ball. And that's my idea, is just try and keep a hold of some of these players as long as we possibly can, because if they can take Gibraltarian nationality and it's going to greatly help the national side, because even the crap players we've got at the moment I think are better than the Gibraltar nationals, and Bustamante would be a great striker to add in to Gibraltar. And then of course we've got Nick Halton and Jim Morrison, our two English centre-backs who have both taken Gibraltarian nationality now. They've both been there for 3 years, but it's another 2 years they need to be able to play for the national side. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I want to try and keep a hold of them. They're both actually wanted by clubs in England at the moment, but we don't really use them as much because we've got better defenders now. But I still think if I can just keep a hold of them as backup players for a couple of seasons, just to make sure they do go into the national side, because as soon as they go into the national side, they can go. I'm not bothered then. They can go back across to England. I'm happy enough for them to do that, but I just want to make sure they're locked in, because as soon as they leave Gibraltar, they can't continue building the nationality up unless they come back, of course. So that's something we want to do. Susican's doing very well at the right back there, cutting out that pass to Oladipo. Oladipo sees a run by Bustamante. Bustamante's in once again. Can he finish it this time? No, great save by Wood. Just stuck a hand out. Just a reaction save more than anything, and puts it round the post. Admasu going to take the corner. What's he got? Good ball in. It's headed clear. But Susican's back on it. Plays the ball back out wide to Admasu, who is just onside. Still plays it back out to Bernal. Is he going to have a long pop, or is he going to try and get the ball back in? He's going backwards. You don't want to do that. It wasn't very good, was it really? We're playing Dulce quite a bit at the moment because he is unhappy about not playing a lot of football. I'm a little bit surprised by that because he has been having a lot of games recently, so I'm a bit shocked by that. But we'll give him as many games as we need to. We're not going to play him in the Champions League, because we do have better defenders to put in there. And we're going to say we're disappointed with that. I nearly pressed happy then. I get, sometimes when I'm talking, I completely forget what I'm supposed to be doing. I just go back to habit of winning and say well done. Right, second half begins. I don't know if it's a case of a lot of new players playing with each other, and as in to speak, and obviously a few players that have not making their debuts here, and maybe it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get into the role. But we have some players that have just come straight in and taken to it like a duck to water. But I'm wondering, we're being beaten here really on possession and shots as well. So I'm thinking we might need to make a couple of substitutions. No, we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do it. Who will we bring on? Do we bring on Vega? Let's bring on Etundi for Oladiji, because he's a very good player. Finbed as well for Atanga. It's the centre of midfield where they're getting a lot of football. They're not doing much with it, are they? Let's bring on Philippe for Admasu. And you know what? We are going to bring on Vega for Elliot Watson, because Watson's not having a fantastic game. So let's bring Vega on, and Vega's been amazing recently. He scored 4 goals in the league match before the game against Man City, which is why we Man City against Barcelona, which is why we brought him on as a sub towards the end, just to use his height, because he's great at set pieces. So that's what we tried to do, and it worked perfectly. So he scored 5 goals in 2 games in the last episode. And Aiden Ives is going to score. Oh, don't! Britannia going to beat us 2 years in a row. I suppose it's good for Gibraltarian football to show that there are other teams out there, but they're not up to our quality, Britannia. We'll have a look after the match and see how they've got on, because I think they did get into the Europa League this season. I don't think they've done terrifically well. And that's just poor defending. Ives is just in the middle on his own. Is that Dulce? Oh, it's Lima. Well, Lima's not showing himself too well, is he, at the moment? Now, our 3 subs are on the pitch now, so hopefully they can turn this game around for us. Etundi, probably our best player at the moment. Vega is just a goal-scoring machine. He's not 100% fit, but should be okay. Machego now to take the goal kick. The goalkeeper is wanted by some of the top clubs across Europe. We must have picked up a good one there, that's all I can say. Bernal plays it across to Susican, who's done pretty well defensively in this game we've seen. Etundi now plays it back to Bernal. I'm probably completely destroying half these names. Susican is into the box, there's the cross, and Vega, and that's what we brought him on for. This lad is going to have a massive future with us, I'm sure of it. He hasn't got the best of stats, but he's got the stats you want. He's got the stats very concentrated in the positions you want. He's got great heading ability, he's got great jumping, he's got great strength. So he's an absolute heading machine. He's a fantastic target man. But as far as other stuff comes, he's not that strong, but you don't need him to be. In a league like this, you just need your players to be great at what they're supposed to be doing. When you go to some of the bigger clubs across Europe, you need players that can do a bit of everything. But here, we just want that dominant player who can be great up front, and that is what Vega's given us. Now, can we turn this game around? There's another highlight here. If we can get the ball back, we can maybe turn this around, but they're coming forward. Parody on the ball, and Susican completely missed it there. Davis out wide, he's got a lot of space, plays it in, and Ives is there, but it's saved by Machego. Well done, Machego. That's why Real Madrid want you. If Real Madrid want you, mate, they're going to have to pay for you. I know people get annoyed, well, obviously not you guys, but the players on this game get annoyed at me for trying to get money for them, but that's the problem with the game at the moment. Everyone's valued at such a small amount. It's like Ramito, his contract expires at the end of the season, the other goalkeeper. But he wants a built-in £4,000 release clause in his contract. I'm like, no. And he's made it non-negotiable as well. It's like, I'm happy to give you a new contract. I'm happy to give you a pay rise. I'm happy to give you a release clause, but it needs to be of a decent amount of money. £4,000 is pointless. We are still attacking. That's not Vega. No, it's Etundi taking the corner kick, plays it in. It's gone away across, and there's Vega again. Bounce off the defender though. Vega back on it. Vega putting the ball into Bustamante, and Bustamante scores! I was just about to say I'd rather see that the way around with Bustamante playing the ball into Vega, but still it's very effective, and all of a sudden Vega, me saying that he's only good for heading the ball in the back of the net, and there he is setting a goal up, and there we are, turn the game around, 1-0 down to 2-1 up. That's what I like to see. As poor defending by them really is, we had quite a few guys completely free there. I think they were doing zonal marking rather than man-to-man. It just left Bustamante in so much space, and he was just able to angle that header into the back of the net, and now we are starting to show the talent we have, and Vega coming onto this pitch has completely turned this game round. this young Ecuadorian striker we brought. Well, I signed him a couple of years ago. We've had to wait for him to become 18 years of old to come across, and it's been worth the wait at the moment. He scored like 8 goals a season already, and we're only into the second league game. Dulce over the top. Come on, guys. Let's get a third. Why not? Dulce's struggling as well, 51%. It looks like we are going to get the victory here after turning the game round from a 1-0 defeat to a 2-1 win. That's a great result for us. I'm happy with that. Britannia were the team that got us last year. This year it looked like they were going to get us again, but I'm going to say calm. I'm going to say... I'm going to say we got away with it today, because I think we did. And there we go. It's fired everyone up as well, which is good. Good to see. That's going to put us back at the top of the table. Yeah, sorry, we're 3 matches in, aren't we? Oh yeah, I forgot to say, didn't I? I had a game against Leo FC off camera in between the last episode and this game, and we did win quite convincingly. Let's have a quick look at Britannia actually before I disappear off, because I did say they're in the Europa League. The senior squad, right? So they got hammered 8-0 to a Slovakian First Division side. Are they that good? That's their key player. I don't think they are that good. It's disappointing really, because some of these clubs should be doing a lot better. Let's look at Lincoln as well, because I think they got into the Europa League. And again, they got beaten 5-0 by a club from Austria. Come on, guys. We're getting draws with Barcelona to try and improve our country. You've got to do a bit better. You really have. And I'm hoping these teams will start to loan some players off of us as well, because at the moment, it would be good for us. No, sorry, we played Man 62 offline. I got a 6-1 win, 4 goals for Vega. Was that the last game? No, it was Leo. Sorry, ignore me. It was Leo FC. Yeah, we got a 3-1 win. Again, we were resting quite a few of our players. 2 goals for David Sanchez, a defender. He was Canadian. He's now down as American. He must have changed his mind what he wants to do. From centre-back, making his debut, scored twice. And Christian Atangana did pretty well and scored a goal as well. So, yeah, enough of me blabbing on. Let's get into that game away to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the Champions League. And here we go. We've arrived at Stamford Bridge for the away game against Chelsea in the Champions League. As you can see, we are joint top of the group. I'm still holding on to that. After 2 games, we're joint top of our Champions League group. Yeah, it sounds a bit stupid, isn't it, really? But there we go. We'll have a quick look at their team as well in a minute. We've got Obeth Patino as our main player. Chris Morgan, our Australian defensive midfielder, been our rock for the last few years, has fractured his back and is going to be out for 8 weeks. Anders Broger, our other really good defensive midfielder, failed the late fitness test, so he's not going to be playing this one. Broger should be back for the other 3 games though, but Morgan looks like he's going to be out now for the rest of the Champions League, unfortunately for him, and for us as well, because he's a cracking player. So we have got Ramito back in goal. I think Bashega might actually be a better goalkeeper. You know, he's got better stats. Jared Murphy at left back, of course, been our main left back now for quite some time. Into the middle we have Jared Maddison. How long's he been with us now for? This is his 2nd season. I can see this guy going all the way to a Gibraltar national side as well. Seems to be not going to get an American side. Nick Harlton alongside him, somebody who has already taken up Gibraltarian nationality. Another couple of years though before he can play for the national side, but he'd be a great asset to the national side. Jamie Wildman at right back, again somebody who could go to the national side. This is his 3rd season with us now, and he's been our main right back for some time. But of course we do have the South Korean lad now, and he's probably going to end up fighting for places with him. Obeth Patino into defensive midfield, really good young Colombian player. Sort of came out of nowhere, a player we signed up and sort of said, we'll stick him in the reserves and see how he gets on. Then all of a sudden he becomes an absolute rock in our team, and I think he's a cracking player. Alongside him we have Marlon Manning, a player from Montserrat, who's already got 49 caps at the age of 24, so that's quite impressive. We signed him when we just became professional from Chelsea. Into midfield we have Felipe, our Brazilian. Did we bring him in this summer? No, this is his 2nd season with... Oh no, we brought him in right at the end of last year, so he's only really played a couple of games for us. Attacking left midfield we have Finn Baird, who was absolutely incredible the last couple of Champions League games, so I'm waiting to see what he can do in this one. Right midfield we have Sergio Tundi, who's just an amazing player as it is. I'm surprised nobody's come in for him yet. And up front we're going to go with Eric Franks for this one. He's a good young American player. Normally would try and go for Richard Jones, but he's not been playing too well of recent. We brought him in. Richard Jones is probably our best striker we've got, but he's just not been playing too well, so we're going to keep him off for this one and Oh, I've just seen their team. Come on. They've got Thibaut Courtois in goal. Yep, as you'd expect. Left back, they have Mateus Olivares, who's an Argentinian regen, who looks pretty decent. Into centre back, they have Almeric Laporte, obviously one of the best young players in the game when you start it off. Alongside him, they have Oer Bilbao, a Spanish player. He looks fantastic. Look at that. 19, 17, 17. He's defending. This Chelsea team looks very, very good. Right back, Hector Bellerin. Can't say no more than that, can you really? Left midfield, they've got Lincoln, who's one of the best players you can buy at the beginning of the game. Young 16, 17-year-old when you start the game. So yeah, he's just incredible, he is. In the middle, they have Seferovic, or something like that. A young Bosnian player. He looks fantastic. 23 years of age, 51 caps for Bosnia. I do like it when you get random countries spawn players, because it really helps them out. Paul Pogba, come on. Really? Then Ismail Azoui, I've not heard of him, to tell the truth, but he seems to be a pretty decent player. And then up front they have Mario Minella, another Argentinian player, another very good player as well. And alongside him they have Adriano Diaz, a young, well, say young, 25-year-old Brazilian, who's got all the stats in the right places. So this, again, is going to be a very difficult game. I think we're probably going to get hammered. I know I've said that in every match so far, but it's bound to happen eventually, isn't it? We're the underdogs, go and give them a performance to cheer. Let's give you some faith. Let's get everyone happy and get some greenery around this team, and then, you know, we're just here to have some fun. We don't expect to do very far in this Champions League. We don't expect to get through. We don't even expect to finish third and get into Europa League. We've done enough this season to really boost our reputation up and give us a lot of money in the bank as well. So we're laughing, really. This whole Champions League group stage at the moment is just a bit of fun. It's just a case of showing exactly how far we can get and how far we've grown, and it's just all about having a bit of fun now. This is the reward we've worked so hard for. Of course, in years to come, when we start to develop better players and we start to get a bit further into the game, we will look to get a bit further into the Champions League. And, well, obviously the whole point of the game is to actually win the Champions League eventually, and then start to improve the Gibraltar national side as well, which is going to be one of our keys. If we can do that, that'd be fantastic. But I think we're now getting to that sort of level where we can... Look at that, they've had 95% of possession in the first 5 minutes. I think we are actually going to get destroyed in this one. Lincoln. Good save by Ramito, though. Well done. And Murphy clears it. As long as we don't get beaten too badly, that's the whole key. We need to get some possession, though. They've had... There we go, we're getting a little bit now. 18%. 30%. There we go. Starting to even the game a bit out now. And 15 minutes in, we're still 0-0. That's pretty good, considering how much we've been hammered them first few minutes. 20 minutes, they get themselves a corner. Oh, another fantastic save by Ramito, but Diaz was there to knock it in. Oh, that's unlucky, Ramito. You did so well to save that. So well. And is it Andre Diaz? I think it was Andre Diaz. Scores a goal. Just look at this save by Ramito. It was fantastic. It was a David De Gea style save. But unluckily for him, Diaz was stood right in front of him, and he just palmed it straight to Diaz's play. Palmed it right in front of Diaz, who just put it into the back of the net. So now Barcelona are beating Marseille as well, which is pretty good for us, because who knows, if we could pull off another couple of points in this, we could potentially get past Marseille and finish third, which would be great. Give us a bit more football in the Europa League for a change. Again, I'm not expecting that, but you know, you gotta try and push your luck wherever you can. Bit of extra money. And it looks like we're going to go into half-time losing 1-0. I have got Vega on the bench once again if we do try and bring him on in the second half, which would be a bit of fun again. Who knows, he might be able to pull something off. Bit of fun in it, really. And there we go. A 1-0 deficit at half-time, but I'm happy with that. Let's go for that. Let's go calmly and relax everyone, and because we've got a couple of nervous players out there as well. And I was tempted to put Frank Evans on the bench for this one, because that would probably make him the first ever Gibraltarian player to play in the group stages of a Champions League. It's a bit of a shame that I can't remember what his name is now, but there was a player right at the beginning of this career mode who played for Lincoln, who left Lincoln, and I tried to sign him so many times, but he kept saying that we weren't a big enough club for him. And I think he ended up retiring at like the age of 24, 25. It's a shame he did retire, because he'd be great now. I think he was a pretty decent player as well, manning gets the ball and clears it out. So an hour into the game and we're still only losing 1-0, which I'm pretty impressed about. I'm pretty impressed about. Now, I'll be thinking of making substitutions soon. Philippe's not having a very good game, really. So I'm thinking Vega for Franks. And I'm thinking Bernal for Philippe. Let's get a bit of fresh legs. I know Vega doesn't really count as fresh legs, considering he always seems to be unfit, and I think I know why that is now. I've just changed it before this match. Vega was in the he was in the reserve squad, sorry. So had they actually just brought on Neymar? I'm sure that just said in the top corner they just brought on Neymar, which is a bit of a pee take if they have, really. Right, I was about to go attacking them for the last 10 minutes, but they're on the attack themselves. Neymar Jr. Is that the same Neymar? And there's their Bosnian lad. Oh, another fantastic save, Ramito. I'm really hoping when we get knocked out of this Champions League, our reputation's going to go much higher. Because at the moment we're still sat at 1 star, but why would a team that's done as well as we have only be at 1 star? Pogba back to Bilbao. Oh, I don't know who that was, but he went in 2-footed there. And Bilbao, that's their centre back, and look what he's doing here. Nice little runs, cutting it back again. Oh, Jared Murphy took him down. Jared Murphy took him down. God's sake, Murphy. You Willy. I'd say that the way that Ramito's played this game, you wouldn't put it past him saving this, because he's been absolutely incredible. He really has. I think for me, the saves he's pulled off. I was saying before the game about who's the better keeper, him or Machego, and that's a real argument at the moment, because both of them are pretty damn good, but some of the saves that Ramito's pulled off in this one. We might give Machego a couple of Champions League games, and that is in the goal for Neymar. Is that the Neymar? It is that Neymar. You can see the picture now. God, they must have such a cracking team that Neymar doesn't even get in the starting lineup. I know he's probably 33, 34 years old or something now, but still. So we are losing 2-0, and again, it's respectable. That's the main thing. I knew we were going to probably lose a lot of these. Oh, I thought we were going to lose all 6 games in the Champions League, tell the truth. But as long as they were respectable losses, I was happy. I didn't want to end up losing by 7, 8, 9 goals every single match. But a couple of draws and losing 2-0 to Chelsea. Again, another great save by Ramito. And should we make another substitution? Oh, it really matters now, does it really? Oh, let's bring on Ashley Riley. There we go. Ashley Riley comes on the pitch. Ashley Riley is now the first Gibraltarian player to play in the Champions League group stage. He's going to get a couple of minutes in place of the booked Murphy, just in case Murphy got himself sent off. And it looks like that is going to be the end of the game. And a 2-0 loss away at Chelsea is not a bad result. I'll be happy with that with some of the Premiership sides. So a loss like that against when we're Europa Point is a very, very good result, actually. And that is going to be the end of the match. So, in fairness, 2-0 doesn't really reflect how much they dominated us, really, does it, really? So let's say, despite the result, I'm pleased with your performance, and they're all happy with that, which is good. Because he did play very well. Patino played a 7.5, which is fantastic. I'm happy with that. Really good player he is. We are bottom of the group now. It looks like Marseille did get an equaliser against Barcelona. And there we go, 1-1 draw. So they are now a point ahead of us. So it's a very tight group, and if we can beat Barcelona, I'm pushing it now, aren't I? Yeah, who knows? Who knows what we could do? They did have 26 shots, 14 on target. That probably shows just how well that Ramito actually played. And we had 1 shot, 0 on target, which shows how well we played, I suppose. And let's have a quick look now at the schedule to see what we're going to be coming back with in the next episode. I believe it's going to be the home game against Chelsea. It will be the home game against Chelsea, and it will be Gibraltar United as well. So I'll play cannons off camera. Probably do that now because I'm quite enjoying this now. And then we'll come back in the next episode. We'll do Gibraltar United versus Chelsea. Then after that, we're going to have Gibraltar Phoenix versus Marseille. And then obviously for that next episode after that, we're going to have Lincoln and Barcelona at home. Barcelona at the Victoria Stadium. Is that what's called, the Victoria Stadium? One other thing before you disappear off. If you've been keeping an eye on the series, you will see that we tried to build ourselves a new stadium a few episodes back. The chairman agreed; he was quite happy with it, but the local council rejected it, saying that they didn't want to give us planning permission. So what I have done instead, which is maybe a little bit stupid spending our money doing it, but I'm going to be expanding our normal stadium, which it's not massive expansion. We're only going to gain about an extra 500 seats, which puts us up to about 3,000 seats, but still it's going to be better, and it's going to help all the other clubs in the country as well get a bit of extra money in. So it was worth doing. And we are also improving our training facilities, which that will be done. Well, it takes a long time, doesn't it? So both of these will be done by the end of next year. So we're going to have a bigger stadium and better training facilities, which should hopefully help our players develop into better players. And once we've expanded the stadium, as soon as we get another chance, we'll try and build a new one as well. But yeah, at the moment I think it's going quite well. It's going very, very well. And of course, if you are enjoying it, then be sure to hit that like button as well, because it does really help me out, makes the videos easier for other people to find, and helps grow it the series as well. Because I know the series is actually doing a lot better now than what it was when I first started it. And of course, if you are new around here and you have enjoyed it, then hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of this Gibraltar challenge. You're always welcome. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple of days for Gibraltar United and Chelsea at home.